I'm M. Kent Olsen, full name Marvin Kent Olsen, named after my dad, but I've gone by Kent most of my life. And I was born in Denver, grew up in Denver, went to Colorado State University to get my bachelor's degree and got into law school. At that time, it was University of Denver Law School. Now it's the Sturm Law School. When I was with that last firm that I was working as associate with, one of my friends from the Denver Probate Court, who was still working there, called and said, "Hey, there's this new position opening here." What was happening was they were creating a job called the referee in the court. And it introduced me to people that lacked capacity to be able to do things, especially introduced me to the concept of a person with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And in doing that, I met a number of the people working for the organization called the Arc of Denver. And they asked me if I'd like to volunteer to be on their board, so that was one of my first volunteers. And we do not only the pool trust, but we also act as representative payee for people that are on Social Security that can't handle their own funds, and people set up their own trusts, and CFPD will act as the trustee for those trusts. And right now, under the pool trust, we manage almost $100 million in resources for the various people that are members of the organization. So those people have access to money that they need, and we have a good staff that is able to help those people in a lot of ways. And people will ask, "Why do you do all this this pro bono stuff?" And I said, "Well, I need to. I'm giving back to the society and the culture that brought me up. That's the important thing. Is that my parents were very responsible people, and they taught me to be responsible, and they acted the same. They would volunteer their time for various things that they had their interest in. So I think I learned a lot from them. And well, it's an interesting area of law because we deal with what helps people, I think. We help people set up their estate plans so that something, whatever they've got, they can make it available to their family or their children so they've got something in the future when they're gone. We help people with different types of trusts, like we talked about, the special needs trust and living trusts and trusts like that to help people with their estate plan. We help people do the documents that are really important to have, like powers of attorney and things of that nature. And since we're dealing a lot with people that have some kind of disability, we also handle guardianships and conservatorships, because those are a very special area that have to be done correctly through the court system for them to work right. And so I think it's a good area for people to get involved in. In 1993, an interesting bill came out of Congress called the OBRA 93 bill. And that was a bill that provided for ability for certain types of trusts to be created for people with disabilities. There was that concept called a pooled trust. And we tried to figure that out, and we created a concept that we thought would work. So we created this nonprofit organization called Colorado Fund for People with Disabilities. And as we created this, I became one of the board members, since I was one of the planners on this thing, and I'm still on the board of directors. In fact, I've been the president of that board 3 times over the years.